Today is a good day to talk about Ballymena and Larne in Ireland and tourism and why people go there and why it can be a lot of fun. And you're thinking, Ballymena? I've never heard about that. What about Larne? Never heard of it. And you're thinking, what? All right, you don't have to blame people for not knowing where that is. It's apparently in the borough of Antrim somewhere in Ireland. And you're thinking, where is that? And this is an interesting thing. That is it like very close to Is it like Galway next to Galway? No. Cork, not even close. All right, it's close to Belfast and Dublin. Anyway, but the problem here is this, that anytime you talk about a major city or one of those small towns, because it's not that big. It's got, Ballymena only has about 31,000 people, and then Larne is even smaller with about 18,000 population. So when you talk about places like that, when people don't know, it is always in reference to the bigger cousins, the more flashier cousins. And it's almost like having a favorite child. And you're there, you're not the favorite. And nobody, but your parents, they know you're there, but you just don't get the amount of attention that your favorite siblings would get. Just like Dublin, everything is always about Dublin, and other parts of Ireland don't like that. Galway is pretty nice. A lot of people from outside Ireland actually like Galway. Cork people say, oh, that's cute. But Ballymena, people was like, where is that? Or what is that? Okay, now we're going to talk about that tourism, or the lack of it, and what is happening there. All right, so first of all, this town is small, and it has been facing a lot of challenges in recent years, and most of that is due to, things are changing, and it is not Dublin. So it's not getting the same amount of investment and interest in tourism, or just people investing, because one of the things that a lot of people actually forget is this, that for investors, they're all about the money. If they want to come and invest in something in your town or in your city, it means they want to get money out of it, profit. They're not doing it for charity. So people investing in Galway, because they know they can make a return, on investment. They invest in Dublin because, it's Dublin, and that's it. It's just like investing in London or Paris. The big cities, there's a lot of money. Investors, everyone's just basically shut up and take my money. But when you get to Larne or Ballymena, it was like they basically have to beg investors to come. And the reason for that was that there have been changes in the past years, where there used to be a sort of a Michelin tire place, apparently, and that closed down. And there was another factory that closed down. And so when you get all that, places closing down, it is reported that there are let's not exaggerate, there are empty homes where people either move out, or landlords can't afford the upkeep, and they're not getting tenants to come in, and then the storefronts that are just empty. So it starts to create a sort of a marginalized community. The same thing with Larne. Larne is where you go if you're coming from Scotland. You take a ferry to Ireland. You could go through that port. It used to be cool, and then Brexit happened, and it was like, yeah, never mind, let's do something else. And all of a sudden, reduced traffic, and because of that, people lost their jobs. Then you have more, they're not even getting all the big investments already, and now you have reduced impact on the community, economic impact. It is not good, and because of that, people are not happy. So what do you do? The funny thing is that when you have economic success, and then there are jobs, people would even come from outside. So recent immigrants have actually moved to the area. And that was cool because there was jobs. But then when things start to decline, people don't know what to do. So they look at the immigrants, they're thinking, oh, it's your fault, as if the immigrants actually caused Brexit, or the immigrants caused the factories to close. It's not. But then you need to blame someone. It's just human nature. You need to blame someone. And because of that, you have the recent unrest that people are saying, oh, they're burning down their own community. What is wrong with people? The funny thing is that most of the people who are actually out in the street and protesting and doing whatever they need to do don't even know what the issues are. And apparently, someone very high up actually raised some type of misinformation online, and that is all people needed. And the funny thing is that I don't think it's got anything to do with probably the misinformation. It just seems that sometimes people want you to tell them what they want to hear. That, oh, woe is me. All the problems I have is because of someone. You need to project your incompetence and your problems on someone to make you feel better. And now the funny thing is that they're not getting enough investments. There are not enough jobs. They've been marginalized, and then you go and burn the little you have left. And people are like, that's intuitive, because now you're going to turn the whole area into a ghost, a ghetto and a slum. It's not good. So basically, that's not the way to do it. But that also goes to show you how easy it is to manipulate people. And the internet and social media has been a tool, a little tool in most of the cases. The same thing actually happened to Brexit, where people said, oh, they voted for it, but the misinformation surrounding Brexit, and when we leave, we'll be able to control our borders, we'll be able to do all these fine stuff. Everyone's like, yeah, that's exactly what we want. Or is it really what we want? And then when Brexit actually happened, then people went on holidays to mainland Europe with their passport, and it was like, European Union this way, others the other way. Who are others? You or the Brits? And people were like, oh, I didn't know that's what Brexit meant. Oh, well, yeah. Anyway, you get the point that a lot of people are not, the issues, what most people generally want is just, I want a job, I want to lead a normal life, have the means to enjoy what the community has to offer every now and then, go to Spain to enjoy the sunshine and all these other great things. But then when you're not getting that, and you see on TV, or you see people, sometimes immigrants who came in well after you've been there and they are leading a better life, you just want to blame them for part of your incompetence. But then it is just an unfortunate situation. Now, with that said, the problem now is that what do? You have Game of Thrones that was filmed there, and a lot of other people had tourism because of that. It is still rather popular. Apparently, one of the episodes in season 6 where the Hound was chillaxing somewhere was actually filmed there, and some of the castles, the landscape, it attracted a lot of people. And the reason why it attracted a lot of people was that Game of Thrones was rather epic when it was on. Everyone was basically waiting for something to happen. Oh, did Jon Snow died? Is he coming back? He's not coming back. And when he came back, everyone was like, I knew it. Anyway, the excitement was palpable, and that attracted a lot of people, and they went to Ballymena and all these other places because they knew, it was nice, and it brought in people were staying in the bed and breakfast, enjoying full Irish breakfast, and just walking around. So there are two types of people actually who visit Ireland. Those who come for the nightlife. Dublin, the big cities, they go to Dublin, they go to Galway, and they go to Cork, Belfast, why not? All that. And then you have those who go because they like hiking, the Highlands, Wicklow Mountains, the landscape. Oh, I love it. And yes, Ireland is a beautiful country, so they've got a lot of good things going for them. But then it just seems that not everyone actually is able to enjoy that, and partly due to, it's just the way things are. So now you have this unrest where people are just burning down their own community and saying it. Apparently there was a leisure centre that they actually set on fire. So now people are saying we don't have anything here, but the little they have, it's been burned down. So that's not good. Police officers have been injured. So, and then the big problem, economic decline and urban decay. That is a word you don't really want to hear when people talk about your town or village, but it's just the way things are. Because if you have have like the Michelin and the GTI Gallagher leaving the town, that's not good. If you have the port decline, the Larne port in decline after Brexit, that is not good. And then if you've invested in the town, maybe a house, a storefront, and the plan is to rent it out to tenants and make money out of it, but no one is starting a business, so you have empty houses, you still have to pay council tax and all that. So you get the point. It's just very, very hard for the area to lift itself out of that without some major companies coming in there and opening I don't know what it is, storefront, or basically employment is the big thing that needs to be done, and that at the moment is not happening. So the civil unrest does impact tourism, which is something that is a shame, because now when you research the name, what do you see? Well, you see that it's unrest, it's a dump, don't go there. And when you get that, it means people then would just bypass the area instead of visiting, or people would probably visit the site where they know that that's linked to Game of Thrones, and they'll boycott the center where you might actually need people to go there if there are restaurants there, if there are little stores there, if there is a bed and breakfast there. So those little things that you don't really basically want the reputation of being a place that is not calm, that doesn't want tourists there. And now the other problem that people have mentioned is that recently, because of the unrest, people are saying, look, Filipino lives matter. They put that in front of their doors, basically saying, leave us alone. We're not your problem. We're basically going through the same difficulty as you. And then others have put in front of their doors, I don't know how true this is, locals live here. So basically saying, I'm not a foreigner. Don't come and mess with me. Don't burn my house down. And because of that, the people have been moved away from where the heat is. It's just absolutely amazing. But the funny thing is, or the tragic thing about this is that people are emotional when it comes to things like that. If you feel that you're not getting a good end of the stick, you get emotional. And when you're emotional, you cannot make a rational decision. And all it takes is for a bit of misinformation for things to get out of hand. And then one person starts, other people join in, and now the people no longer talking about the real problem of what they want. What do you want? It's funny actually when you ask them, what do you really want? Most people would be unable to answer that question because they're emotional. They haven't actually thought it through. And what most people actually want is not that they want, like maybe immigrants or over tourism, tourists not to come. What they probably want is that, look, I want a better share of this cake. I want a better life. So give me that. Because at the end of the day, the immigrants being near you, it's not your biggest problem, no matter how you want to look at it. Your biggest problem is that I need cash in my pocket, money to spend. I want to be able to go and lead a normal lifestyle. I want a future for my children. I want a good life. If you get in that, others leading their life is not a bother. But until people actually start to take a step back and think, am I being misled, or is this really an imaginary problem? Until people are able to figure that out, and also until other unscrupulous people avoid manipulating people, getting them all worked up, riled off for nothing, I think this is going to be an unfortunate situation that's going to continue. Now that the unrest is just basically destroying the little the community has, it's not good.